Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Social Surge. Happy Thursday.
From the hollows in the ridgelines, Appalachian ground.
You gotta love this, right?
James Milner's, we're the best.
I love it, man. Easy listening. Easy listening.
Good morning. I'm Mo Regalado. Joining us is James Milner over there. And on the other side of James is, of course, my ride or die, my boo. What the heck, Hector and Mo Regalado. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Holly Pennington. Thanks for joining us over on the gram. And, of course, we've got James Milner of Boone CRE joining us today. Lots to talk about. And one of the things I think we wanted to discuss is the fact that you don't need 50,000 followers to build a successful business, but you need the right people to be paying attention. James, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing over there at Boone CRE.
Good morning. I'm just honored to be here to experience it from the other side. I, long time listener, first time caller kind of guy. But my name's James Milner. I'm the president owner of Appalachian Commercial Real Estate based in Boone, North Carolina. So a small tertiary market in Northwest North Carolina, home of App State University, or Appalachian State, if you're saying it correctly.
And now I have to apologize because I said Boone CRE, and that's because that's your Twitter handle.
Yes, that is my Twitter handle.
So could you try again?
But I say all that to say that I have been in commercial real estate since 2008. I own this firm called Appalachian Commercial Real Estate, and I believe that what I really succeed at is just relationship building, and that relationship building converts in business. So involved in a number of different things, kind of from the high up is, mostly CCIM stuff, but I'm hyper involved in my community. I serve on our Chamber Foundation Board of Directors. I'm chair of our Economic Development Commission. And as of yesterday, I somehow got appointed to the Town of Boone ABC Board. So
what's the ABC board?
Alcohol Beverage Commission. So liquor, the way that we control liquor in the Town of Boone.
And you're like, hey, I just got voluntold for this position.
Well, the local government said, oh, we want a fresh new face. And I said, oh, don't have to tell me twice. You want something new and exciting, I'll certainly bring it. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Obviously we know each other through CREI.
Yes, I was just going to bring that up. You and I actually worked together on the programming committee. What was it, 2 years ago? When we were in Atlanta, Georgia, or when CREI Summit was in Atlanta, Georgia. And, that's how actually that we started communicating. Oh, look who's joined us over on LinkedIn. Good morning, Mr. Alan Buchanan.
Morning, Alan.
Good to see you. We'll have to talk about how things were at the Lee Summit. So, but that's how you and I got connected, and we were putting the program together. And I know that you and I have talked about social media before. In fact, you asked me for my advice on somebody that you were going to start working with. I was like, you need to snap her up. You need to snap her up right now. And I don't know whatever happened to that, but
I got all the tea on that. I did do that. It is the greatest blessing to have someone that coincides with my style, my energy, makes my life extremely easy. She says that I make her life easy because I am the one take guy that is crazy enough to do all these reels and content. But the reality is that her name is Sarah. Sarah with South Fork Marketing. If you're listening to this, thank you. I'm so grateful for you.
Yeah, no, it was so funny. I remember that conversation, and I was just like, no, you would be dumb if you do not like. And of course, like James knows me, I probably actually said something else, but like you need to snap her up like this is, yeah. don't sleep on this one. Go. Do not pass go. Do not pay 200. Like, I was just like, dude, you got to get her.
Well,
So,
and I think that a lot of, business owners get hung up on, thinking about that the same way that they think about a transaction, saying, well, where is the return on investment? You got to get totally out of that mindset and just know that you're freeing up your own time to do what you do well when someone else does that particular work. So,
right. I mean, is it the highest and best use of your time if you're stressing over what you're supposed to be putting on social media, or if you have somebody that can be beside you and be like, hey, I've got this. All I need you to do is go do this. Okay, I can do that. Perfect. Give it to me. And then don't think about it. Don't think about the rest of it. Yes, we have a strategy. Yes, we have things that we're doing, but that's my job. Your job is to go transact. Your job is to go make the money. And when I tell you to go do something, go do a video, do it. I mean, it's great when you have a relationship with them. You told me when we were having our discussion before the show that you wanted to have a goal of reaching 1,000 followers this year. Which platform are you talking about? Because I think you're actually doing really well on TikTok, aren't you?
So yes, TikTok is, I'm kind of coming back to this resurgence of TikTok, only because the content pieces that we have, we're just trying to use them in a number of different creative ways. So I've been pushing a little bit of that to TikTok. But my goal is 1,000 on IG. So I have really doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on IG. I have become a big fan of short form video, big fan of reels. And that's kind of where I've decided to live. I'm not saying that LinkedIn isn't important. I try to be very purposeful in my LinkedIn posts, and I feel like the engagement there is important. But for me, and what I'm doing, what I see success in, it's Instagram. So yes, my goal is before the end of the year, 1,000 on Instagram, both personal and business. I am still running 2 accounts, but it's nature of the beast.
Right. Yeah. I run 2 accounts, but both of my accounts are like the mobile media marketing account is, really predominantly business oriented. Obviously, we share Social Surge on there, and then Cup of Joe goes on there. But then my personal also has all of that. It doesn't have all of that content. It has Cup of Joe. It has Social Surge. It has more personal stuff. But I'm not and I'm not saying that you are. So don't let's put that out there. I'm not afraid to show both sides, right? Like if you want to see me, and I talk about this often, you'll see me at 4:00 in the morning on Instagram, with my hair up in a bun and probably sleep still in my eyes, where I've seen something and I'm just like, hey, let's talk about this. This is a discussion we need to have right now. One, it's top of mind for me. And and really for me, it's like, this is the person that you're getting all the time. This is not like, obviously we all want to be polished. We all want to sound smart, but I mean, this is who you're going to get. So I'd rather you see that than be surprised and show up to a meeting and you're like, oh God, okay, well, that's what she's looking like today. Like, yes, this is what I'm looking like today. This is what I authentically look like every single day, because I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I'm tired. By the time you and I have a conversation, I'm tired.
Yes.
What I want to ask you is, when did social media start feeling important to you?
Well, good question.
I don't know. I mean, over the last probably 5-6 years, I think, it kind of just started as a place of, what are people doing? Community building, right? But now, as a commercial real estate professional, I don't think I could operate without it. It's
really, that's a bold statement.
is so ingrained to what I do. And I've learned a very hard lesson in commercial real estate, social marketing, which is we try not to get hyper focused on the business of listings, leases just sold. We're trying to just be better storytellers. So there, for me, there's a number. Let me see if I can find it. When I started working with Sarah, she gave me 2 things. You'll love this. We are focused in our social media marketing of success stories and overcoming challenges. If we do those 2 things, then we are successful in our social media strategy. So, and I'd add one more thing. My word of the year is collaboration. And I changed that word because it was storytelling, and I think it is still storytelling, but Aviva had a podcast, and I told Aviva this after listening to it. She had a guest on a couple of weeks ago talking about the power of collaboration. And so we are trying, not every single post,
right,
but strategically finding folks within our community to collaborate with, to spread the message that, or story that we're trying to tell. So
100%. There's not enough people that do that. And good morning, DB, who's joining us over on the gram, and congratulations to the Knicks last night. That was a hell of a win. So here's the thing. Not enough people are community ambassadors. You see this a lot in residential real estate. Residential real estate is great at having ambassadors of their community. We don't see it a lot in commercial real estate. And here's the thing. Everything is commercial real estate, right? We focus a lot on residential. Yes, there's lots of houses, but our healthcare centers, our grocery stores, the places that we shop, the places that we eat, right? Like everything is commercial real estate. There are stories there that need to be told. There are business owners out there that want to share their story. There's a broker that we know in Vegas that I'm trying to get. I keep reminding him. He's got so much on his plate, but I keep reminding him. I'm like, dude, it would be fabulous if you were to talk to all the older brokers, all the older developers in Vegas who built it. Because that's history that we're never going to get back. They're all dying, right? These guys are in their 70s, they're in their 80s, in their 90s. They're not going to be around, and they have the actual stories of how those communities were built. And that's what people want to hear. Yeah, I mean, it's not technically commercial. It is commercial real estate, but it's not. It's the story. It's the idea of like getting to know what happened in this history. And it would be fabulous. I would love to see him sit at a table at a restaurant somewhere in Vegas with, cameras, and they're all just sitting around breaking bread, right? Like just having a conversation about, hey, do you remember when this got built? Do you remember when that got built? Do you remember what happened with the city planning and zoning when they said no? Like, I mean, that excites me, right? Like those are the stories.
Where were you when, this building imploded down to the ground? I'd share 2 strategies that we're currently using, or series strategies that are my favorite. One is called kitchen conversations. So we're just sitting at a kitchen table and saying, talking about kind of, sensitive or spicy topics within the community and giving a take on it. And the other one is what you see versus what I see. So the general public will see a building or and think one thing or see the user, right? And a commercial real estate agent sees it from a totally different perspective.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and that's what you're doing is you're giving the behind the scenes and telling a story at the same time. Let's switch gears a little bit. Oh, sorry, Hector.
No, I was just going to say that's actually those kind of stories are great for educating the public in general, right? A lot of people don't really. Okay, yes, back to what Mo said, which is everything pretty much is commercial. Even your home at one point was commercial, right? It was a development. Right. and the general public really doesn't know the back end, the backstories of why this happened or why this. You'll be driving down the road and you'll look at a development and you're like, why do they build it that way? There's a story behind it, right? There's a reason why it was built the way it was built. And the general public just sees the buildings. They don't understand how it was, how it came to market, right? Where the funding came, who was in it, who was vested in it, really, and what was the purpose, right? There's a lot to it. It's not just, there you go, a building.
DB says developers collab a lot, especially when the investor is not from the area they want to mark. They should never enter the market without a collab. That's
true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very true.
All right. So let's change gears. I want to talk about the Boone Tea podcast. And you launched it at the beginning of the year?
Yeah. A few months ago. This comes out of two people that I got a lot of respect for. You and Fly Jamerson made a commitment last year at CREI that I always wanted to do it. And I said, well, why not? So this was my year. And I listened to a ton of podcasts, but one that's kind of the top is called Commercially Speaking with Bo Barron and Timmy Barron. And so I kind of took a play off of that, where I have a lay person, her name's Jamie, and she knows nothing about commercial real estate. And so it is somewhat hyper local in that we're taking complex commercial real estate issues and explaining why they are important to not only the resident, but also the business owner. And I knew nothing about podcasts. I have been in a world or sea of learning journey through it, but it's really pushed me to get outside of my comfort zone. I didn't realize how many times I said, right, until I saw the transcript for the first time. I really didn't realize how piss poor of a speaker I was until I saw that first episode. But like all things, Mo, I am just trying to get the reps in. And as you get the reps in, it gets a little easier, one episode at a time. I don't know what's going to come out of it, but yes, my shameless plug for Boone Tea, available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we hooked it into YouTube. And so I hear that that's a great way to generate clicks and views. We do a really cool component where we do the video and the audio, which I hear is kind of the new stance of podcasting, where you have both those media items.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, this is a show. What we do right here is technically not a podcast. It's a show because it doesn't have an RSS feed. And we don't have it going to other podcasting platforms, right? So this isn't on Spotify. It's not on Libsyn. It's not on Podcast-O-Matic. We will take the MP3s of these and throw them on those eventually. One of these days, we'll get around to it. You know, not like we're busy running a business or anything. That is in the works, right? But I learned at Social Media Marketing World that this is a show. It's not a podcast, even though I call it a podcast. And it's because it really needs that RSS feed. Now, here's the other interesting thing I learned there is that the longevity and the long-term evergreen content that comes from having a podcast, actual podcast with an RSS feed. And I keep saying RSS feed, and there's a reason why. Because like web crawlers, all of this stuff, they're looking for those RSS feeds to actually be able to pull data from, to pull content from. And so if you have a podcast and it has an RSS feed, you are actually one step ahead of everybody else who's like me and just has a show, because the search engines and the agentic search engines can pull that content from there a lot easier. Now, I make sure that when we have these, like I put a good description, I have somebody going back and we're uploading the SRT file, which is the transcript file. You need to have all these little things in place so that agentic search can find you and answer those questions. Because really the answer engines, that's what they're looking for. Did they answer this question in here? So like me asking you questions, somebody somewhere is going to ask that and boom, you're going to pop up. James Milner with, he's got the Boone Tea podcast, right? So all of these things come into play. So you having an actual podcast is 100%. Then having that YouTube component to it is super important, just because of the fact that we know that agentic search is pulling from YouTube and it's pulling from LinkedIn. One of the things that I would highly recommend that you do, and Sarah, if you're listening and watching, make a LinkedIn article of every single podcast episode.
Okay.
Because and put it on your LinkedIn professional page, because it'll get pulled by the search engines.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with you that, and Aviva talked about this at great length, that these podcasts are being used by AI, and that is the future of our industry, and the material that we put out is getting hooked into that AI environment.
100%. And it's because people are going, for some odd reason, it seems so weird that we had Google for years, but because we know that Google has allowed advertisers and everybody, it's that trust is broken, which is hilarious that we would trust AI, but we do. And so people are putting in, who is the best? Where can I find, right? They're asking these questions, and the faster that the AI can actually pull an answer because something has been categorically put together, or there's a hierarchy. That's why blog posts, again, if you have a blog on your website, those podcasts should go on there as a blog. Right. Because it has a hierarchy that it's very easy for the AI to just be like, boop, I can pull that. Okay, that's great. That's great. Let's pull that. And so that's, I love the fact that you did what you said you were going to do. Yes. 2, that you listened to you listened to people outside of yourself and said, I need to do this. And then 3, it's a huge, and maybe not enough people in your community understand it. And you probably get some snickers, because I'm sure you do. Like, oh, there's the guy with the podcast. No. But you are creating community where they did not, right? There's going to be people who are like, okay, like maybe there's people who are looking to move to your area, and you are now the ambassador talking about all the great things about the area. I know you've used it as a component for fundraising, which is huge. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. And before I jump over there, I would just say the other thing on Boone Tea, Mo, is that we don't mention Appalachian commercial real estate at all. It is not designed, nor did I want to design it to be a work lead generator, that kind of thing. I designed it because I wanted to give back and just do podcasting per se. So anyways.
Have a great day, Alan.
Bye, Alan. But I have used social media for fundraising. As you guys know, a couple years back, Hurricane Helene came through Western North Carolina and just absolutely devastated everything from, Asheville to Boone. And with the help of our good friend, Sarah Malcolm, created a video to raise money for the Boone Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation. And to date, I swear people are still giving to the foundation for relief through that video. So grateful, to use social media for good. Right. I don't think that even I do enough of that, and it's a good reminder.
We have a platform, right? And it's all about how we actually use that platform and how we share the stories of the things that are important to us. I know that there's been a couple times where I've used my platform to help raise money for other people. And I always say, if you only give once a month, please remember this cause, because, whether it's somebody who's passed away unexpectedly, or there's been a natural disaster or something to that effect, it's like you can use your platform for other things, and it's okay. And you should absolutely use it for other things. Let me pop back to the podcast before we jump into CCIM leadership. But good morning, Marcy Moneypenny. What do you remember about that first episode? What was, besides the ums and the ahs and the I'm not a good speaker.
I told Jamie before we hit the record button that I really wanted to throw up. I remember this sense of pride. It is literally stepping off what feels like stepping off a cliff. And, for me, that was a big moment because, like you said earlier, I am a man of my word, and I was doing the one thing I said I was going to do. So I wasn't worried about how it was going to turn out. I am very grateful, Mo, that I found someone that does post for me. So anyway, the spirit of delegation, you deal with this post and make it clean and exciting.
Yeah, it's different when, so like when you're on, like I was on radio for years, and I remember the first time I was actually given like the studio and I got to go live. And the first song that I played was George Strait, The Fireman. And the first thing that came out of my mouth when I turned that mic on was like, oh, if he was my fireman, I wouldn't mind him putting out my fire. Like something like that. And then I had my friends calling me, I can't believe you just said that. I'm like, I didn't know that was coming out of my mouth, but clearly it came out.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I love. I love having this communication ability, and I love people being able to hear what I have to say and then react to it. That's what I want. I want that audience reaction, and I want to be real with people and be honest with them on air. And there's been plenty of times that Hector was in DC and I was in Grand Forks, North Dakota as the assistant program director, and he didn't call me. It was like my birthday, and he didn't call me until like 9:00. He texted me. And he didn't even say happy birthday. I don't even remember what he said, but it wasn't happy birthday. And so, I know, right? I'm never going to let him live this down. So I'm on air, and I was talking about how he didn't call me. And I played from Tombstone, Hell's Coming With Me. I'm like, this is what's going to happen when I get home today. Right? And I had people calling and reacting to that because they thought that was the funniest thing. They're like, oh, he's in trouble. I'm like, you damn right he's in trouble.
You would be proud of me, Mo. I have yet to drop an F-bomb on the podcast. So
you can edit that out, but that's...
I know, but I got a lot of respect for Jamie. She's an incredible woman, and she just brings so much heart to our show. But I have not yet dropped one. Haven't had to slide the explicit cursor over yet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's happened plenty on this show already. So all right, let's talk about, before we head out, let's talk about CCIM leadership and your industry involvement. I know you're heavily involved with CCIM. What about CCIM made you want to get involved?
I think obviously CCIM stands for Certified Commercial Investment Member. It's a professional organization of commercial real estate professionals. I got my designation back in 2013, and because of the life-changing aspect of obtaining the designation and everyone that had poured into me, I wanted to pour back out. The Institute itself is built on 3 main pillars, which is networking, education, and technology. And I really kind of lean into all three of those things. So it's aligned professionally with my personal values, right? The list is too long to mention everything, so I will just kind of say where I am now. I had the great privilege, Mo, of even from Boone, North Carolina, being the chapter president in 2022. So CCIM has different chapters, and was the state chapter president back then. But now I serve on the board of directors for CCIM and was elected last year to a 3-year term. So very excited about that. And I serve on a number of different committees, have chaired committees, and it's just good people. And, trying to get more, nothing against our friends at SIOR, but trying to get more CCIMs to come to CREI and pour into that and just be involved within our circles. But
it's important, like the networking capability. And I'm in full disclosure, I do stuff for IntelliSite. So I do social media for IntelliSite, formerly known as Site to Do Business.
Yeah.
Right. And it's the kind of the CCIM tech arm, or part of CCIM tech. And the stuff that IntelliSite can do just blows me away. And like I have prospecting calls with clients, and I'm like, they're telling me what they're doing. I'm like, are you using IntelliSite? And they're like, what's that? I'm like, dude, it's like $1,700 a year. Why are you not using it? And then it becomes like a sales call for IntelliSite. I'm like, I need to earn a commission on this
or better yet, Mo, they could go get their CCIM or be a member of the CCIM Institute and get it for free as a member benefit.
Right, exactly. So we're talking about member benefits. And if they join new, what are some of the newer members getting wrong with their CCIM designation?
Well, I don't think that they're leaning into IntelliSite, right? They get taught that platform during 102, which is a course on market analysis. But the other thing that they're not doing is leaning into their local chapter. So over 50 chapters throughout the nation. You can get plugged in locally to do deal making locally with other people speaking the same language as you, with the same ethics as you. That is the part that I am really, really trying to push. Is everything happens at a chapter level that is important. It's not to say that what happens at a national level isn't important, but
right.
All business, in my opinion, is done locally, and then you're growing that network from a state or region or national side.
Yeah, it's important to get plugged in. I mean, honestly, whether we're talking about CCIM, we're talking about CREI, we're talking about our community. I think our community that we have here on social is actually a really good one, right? Like I know that if I have a question, I can call you. I can call Sarah Malcolm. I can call Fly Jamerson. I can call anybody and get somebody to connect with. Or if they don't have the answer, they're going to connect me with someone else. I don't know how many times somebody's connected with me and said, hey, you pretty much know a lot of people. I need this. Do you know someone? I'm like, actually, I do. Hold on. Let me make the email. Let me send the text message. And it's surprising to me that we still have a large population that don't want to get connected that way, that kind of look at it like, oh, well, it's just digital media. It's just social media. They're all trying to be social media influencers. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I want to build a community. And that's what it sounds like you're doing through CCIM, through Boone Tea, through being involved in your own community. You've got a community of people that you can go to and grow it and grow something beautiful.
I would leave you with this on CCIM. CCIM for me is very fraternal, right? I was part of a fraternity when I was in college. That is the sense that I get from CCIM, is that no matter if any CCIM is listening to this, you got a question, I stop everything. I take your call I respond to your email immediately because that is the level of seriousness that I take the relationships that I have with other CCIMs.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm going to ask you a couple rapid fire questions before we end this. We got about 5 more minutes. What's the most underrated business tool?
A good CRM.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's a good answer. Yeah, definitely.
And in the words of Rod, the best CRM is one that you actually use.
The one that you actually use. That is 100%. We get asked that a lot. What CRM do you use? We use Go High Level. What's that? I'm like, it's a CRM. It does a bunch of stuff. I don't really care. Ask Hector. He has the answers on that. I don't deal with that stuff. But you're right. Like we are actually working with a client that has everything on like they don't actually even have a CRM. It's like not an actual CRM itself. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, we can work with that.
But again, I mean, even if it's not a true dedicated CRM, as long as it's a functioning database, that's really what it comes down to. But yes, a CRM is exceptionally important tool for any kind of sales driven industry. And this industry is 100% sales. So, yeah.
What's one app that you use every day?
ChatGPT.
Really? Okay. Are you a Claude fan or are you just a chat fan?
I'm primarily in ChatGPT. I have used Perplexity is another one that I like. Claude, not so much, but when we were talking earlier, I have made that move as a commercial real estate professional. Instead of going to Google, I am now going to my ChatGPT to say,
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually funny that you mentioned that because when I want to ask a question, I don't go to chat, I go to Perplexity.
Okay.
I'll use Perplexity for that. I'm using Claude a lot more for content creation and curation. And to help build like frameworks and different assets. Hector uses Claude Code. You're doing stuff with Claude Code or
Cowork. I use Cowork a lot simply because it just has a little bit more for building certain things. It's a more robust part of Claude. That's all.
I can hear Yoongi's complaining that you're not there watching her eat food.
Yeah, she's right there to see me.
What's the best advice that you've received?
If you keep your mouth shut, people won't know how stupid you are.
I like that. That is very true.
I'll give you a bonus one. Some banana pudding is better than no banana pudding at all.
Unless you're allergic to bananas and then you're dead. So, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay. What is your favorite place in Appalachia? Am I saying that right?
So within the Appalachian region, I love my town. I'm committed to my town, Boone, North Carolina. I've been here, for over 2 decades. And not a lot of people know this, Mo, but I grew up in England. I don't sound anything like an English person, but from when I was 3 to when I was 10, I lived in England. The only word that I still struggle with is the word strawberry. Other than that, all other words are Americanized.
Oh, I freaking love that.
I say all that to say that Boone, for me, is very reminiscent of my childhood. It's makes me feel safe. It's just small town community. Is it perfect? No, but I tell my mom all the time, she's like, why don't you move to a bigger city? I'm like, Mom, I've built these relationships. Yes. Everything that I need, no matter what it is, I know who to call. And slowly but surely, it only took 2 decades. I think that people understand, hey, if we have a commercial real estate problem, let's at least pick up the phone and call James.
What's next for you and your business?
I have no idea. I think for me, it's in our existing economic climate, it's survival. I think that transactional velocity is going to continue to see downward pressure. I don't think we have sellers that want to act like sellers. We certainly have a lot of buyers who are putting more emphasis on price. So there's still a disconnect there. So from a business perspective, I think what's next is just staying the course, being true to ourselves, working hard for our clients. And, I'll leave you with this, Mo. Our mantra as a business is we don't get focused on a rip. We get focused on the client and solving their problem. If we do that, then a fee is a byproduct of doing the right thing. Not everything that we do day in and day out results in a fee, but we do it because we want to be good stewards of the knowledge and power and information that we have.
Love that. How do people get in touch with you?
You can go to our website, www.appalachian, which is APPALACHIANCRE.com. Or you can find me on socials. If you respond to me on socials, it's usually me, not Sarah. There's no veil of secrecy. I do respond to people at 11:30 at night, just trying to build up that engagement. But personal on IG is James R. Milner, and Appalachian CRE on the business side. Mo, Hector, grateful for you guys. Just a blessing to do this. I've always wanted to do this, Mo, and you made a little boy's dream come true today.
I am going to get you to say strawberry multiple times because that's actually, Sarah, that's an idea. Have him say certain words that he might still have a little bit of an accent for, because I think that would be a lot of fun. And that's a story. I don't know if you've told that story. So that story needs to be told as well. Yeah. All right. Whether it's social media, podcasting, networking, CCIM, or building a brokerage, today's conversation comes back to one thing, and that is consistency compounds. The people who keep showing up eventually become the people everyone knows. James, thank you so much for being on here. It was a great conversation. I can't wait to see what you do with your business. And we'll see you at CREI Summit this September. Don't forget Instagram. You get your numbers in. I think they're still looking for X numbers too. CREISummit.com for more information on that. Everybody have a great day. On Tuesday, the 16th, we're going to have Ken Ashley on. So I hope to see you guys there. I know. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
From the hollows and the ridge lines, Appalachian ground.